Hi, friendos. We are currently going to be doing a NeosVR live stream. So, before we get started, um, special thanks to Kiwi for coming in and doing this. This is all experimental, and God only knows how this is going to turn out, but I'm super excited for it, and I know he is as well.
Oh, I look like I'm already sitting on the thing. Okay, so, hi. This is very weird to see myself like as if this is a live stream, but not actually myself. So, we have Kiwi here,
Sup?
and Aegis is in the background. He's one of the developers who's currently helping us out. There he is. So, what we're going to do is just basically do an interview because I wanted to give this a shot and see if we could make something work out where it's like an interview but in VR, because obviously VR is becoming a social aspect in our lives, and having something where, you know, I'm here with him but I'm not here with him, and I'm able to give an interview and conduct an interview even though we're not actually sitting next to each other. Also, you can't make yourself taller than me. We discussed this. I'm taller than you, remember?
Oh, you mean like this?
Yeah, there you go.
There we go.
There you go. For those of you who don't know, this is Kiwi Fox.
Hi.
He is a YouTuber that is better than I am.
Lies.
Shut up. He's one of our great friends. He has God only knows how many subscribers now. Is it like 38,000?
Yeah, like 38 and change.
Yeah. So he's a band member of Run Definitely Run and is also a YouTuber, a streamer, and God only knows what else you do in your pastimes. Because you're in almost, you go to almost every con imaginable.
I make fursuits, I make music, I DJ, but I do a lot.
Before we get started, is there anything else that everyone here should know about yourself?
Well, the color's right, but I'm not actually a Dutch Angel Dragon. I'm a false, but we're gonna roll with it.
Luckily, the awesome guys over at NeosVR actually textured this cool thing for me to have, so I actually look somewhat cool instead of being, because like yesterday I was this boy. The Dutch Angel Dragon is supremely cute, so I kept being as him. I'm on the couch now.
The pioneers used to ride those babies for miles.
To get started, how long have you been in the fandom?
Since 2003.
2003. That's 15?
I'm old.
16 years.
Yes.
Yes. What got you into the fandom?
So believe it or not, it all started with Inuyasha, the anime, because I was like, that dude's got ears and he's cute. And the more I found fan art, the more it like led me to furry-ish websites. And then I discovered Sonic fan art, and it was just downhill from there.
Was there anything in specific other than like Inuyasha? Like, was there like a turning point in when you joined the fandom that like really pushed you into actually moving forward with it?
I would say once I talked to a few furs, I found a few forums. Back in the day, there was one called like the Furry Forums. It was like a big resource for people to just hang out, and it was like a message board system. And I really started talking to people, and I actually met up with a few of them. And I was like, wow, there's more people out there that are like into the same stuff I am, like artwork and like wearing collars and ears and tails and stuff. And like, it kind of like tied in with how I cosplayed a lot back then, and it was like, man, this is awesome. It's like cosplay but fuzzier, and it has been like gotten better ever since.
So what led you into doing YouTube?
So I know you've probably heard this from a lot of other people, and everybody else has heard it, but honestly, one of the first people I ever found was Majira Strawberry. Found his content, watched a lot of his videos, which led me to other YouTubers like Rainy Chaos, Vixen Donk, Beagle and Red, you as well, Mark. Like, just it kind of like really got me into watching the kind of content people made, and I was like, man, I want to do that because like I love to entertain people. That's why I DJ. But I'm like, it's like DJing, but I can talk to them and I can have them talk to me. So it was something I kind of wasn't sure how it would go at first, but I just jumped in with both feet, and it eventually kind of worked out for me.
Was there any like specific like video that you're proud of?
That I'm proud of? Ooh, that's a hard question. I would say the Moms of Furries series that I did, the 3-part interview, because there we tackled a lot of the issues that face our fandom in regards to young furs, like how they should get into the fandom, how they should express it to their friends and family, what to do if you have questions. And I was really proud to kind of like put another bridge out there to like connect the youth that are going to eventually become like the face of this fandom as we, you know, move on and do what we do. You want to like have the next generation come up in a way that they're both comfortable and confident in their abilities.
That sounds like as if it was not just inspirational, but in a way very like, you vaping? Well, if you are going to vape while you're in VR, you at least have to do it properly.
How do you, oh my God, what are you doing?
There you go, now you have a vape.
I want to grab it. How do I?
You gotta like actually put your hand onto it.
Uh-huh.
And then grab it.
It's not.
Oh no.
Oh no,
Oh,
it's
no.
broken.
Here, I'll just.
Oh no. Okay, just.
There we go. Oh, cameraman's having fun. Wow, that's bright.
There's a fire here.
Oh my god, there's all of a sudden like a whole campfire. Aegis is like.
I love this.
And moving everything around in the background. Next up on the questions, right? So, as you've been continuing and doing more cons and learning a lot more, especially about like how things run, what would you think is the hardest challenge you've had to tackle when doing furry conventions as often as you have? Because I know, like, me and you, like, I haven't done as many as you have. I think I'm like 4 behind you for this year.
Mm-hmm.
But still, like in the past year, I know like us two, as well as Majira and a lot of our friends, have gone to, I think, what, 15 cons?
Yeah.
Something like that. But what specifically is something that is hard for you to tackle about going to as many cons, and what's something that you would advise other people?
So, you know, I think a lot of people would imagine it's the financial aspect, which is a large part of it, but that's not the hardest thing for me. Honestly, it's mentally not getting burned out, because traveling and performing and going to these things will drain you physically as well as mentally. And so for me, the biggest challenge is just looking at each con with a set of fresh eyes and not letting any bad experiences weigh you down for the next one. Especially if something doesn't go right at an event, whether it be a show that we're doing or just maybe, you know, just troubles we face getting there, like delays and whatnot.
Yeah.
So that's my big thing, is just mentally preparing, in addition to making sure that like you've budgeted for the con and have like your room and your badge and everything set up.
Yeah. Sorry, this feels really professional because we actually have like a cameraman right now.
This is awesome. Like, shout out to Aegis right now. Just
Stop dabbing.
Look, you can't tell somebody who has hands that move with mine to not, just dab on them a few times. I can't not do it.
Okay, so dabbling a little bit further into like what made you, right? What specifically? Because you're Air Force guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What specifically about being a furry and having the separate ties with the Air Force? Because, I was Army, but, I wasn't in the Chair Force, so I'm not sure how that works.
Listen, all right. As far as the military goes, only like 2 or 3 people in my unit even know that I'm a furry, because I consider it a part of my life that doesn't concern them.
Yeah.
The military for me was a professional choice to get my education as well as give back to the country, and I kind of separated that from anything in my private time, which was furry or any other hobbies. And really, they haven't influenced each other beyond like furry has really helped me open up a lot with public speaking and meeting new people and just kind of getting used to being comfortable in very public settings. So when it came time to do stuff for the government where I had to like go to a new base or talk to a new lead or whatever, you don't sweat it so much. It doesn't matter if you're talking to another E5 or you're talking to a 4-star general, you just treat them all with respect and you follow due course and you stop being so stressed about a lot of simple things.
Yeah, that makes sense. If there's one thing specifically about the fandom that you feel like has definitely changed over the 16 years, what would that be?
Oh man, the biggest thing I can say right now is the visual aspect of our art and our fursuits. It has gone from where I even remember it starting in 2003, 2004. Like it has gone just echelons above what I ever imagined possible with how people can draw and what people can come up with in their heads. And even beyond that, what they can create. Like you look at suits nowadays, and I think we kind of take it for granted, the ready availability that we have of makers and suit styles when there was a time that it didn't exist at all. And now you can't go to a con without seeing 50 different styles. And it's just incredible that there's so much diversity in the fandom that didn't seem to be there even as old as the fandom is. Like even because in 2003, the fandom was already 15, 20 years old, give or take.
Yeah.
And it didn't seem like a whole lot had progressed, but then it was like, man, mid 2000s hit and it was just an explosion of creativity. And now with where we are, it's something none of us could have ever predicted.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. So now getting on to the band aspect, right? Because you also do stuff with Run Definitely Run. What is, how did that happen? If you can talk about that.
I can. It honestly, looking back, this is actually something I had to have a conversation with Omnom about because I couldn't remember. I actually had to sit down and remember how we even met and how we even got to where we are now. And it all started last year at ELFC when he performed right before Fox and Pepper. And he was going through a lot of personal stuff. So like he went and did the show despite a lot of private ordeals. So I walked up to him after the show and I shook his hand and I said, "Hey, I'm Kiwi. I just want to let you know I think you put on one hell of a performance and I admire you for being strong enough to do what you did." And we started talking and we became friends after that. And then the band thing came after that where they needed some help at a show with running their synths and stuff. And I said, "Well, I'm going to be at this event and I already know the program that you use. If you want some help, I can show up and, do that." So that would have been MFF. Yes, MFF. I went and helped them run their show. And afterwards we had a long talk and he's like, "Hey, how would you feel about joining the band? Like we could really use someone with your dedication and your drive." And I was like, "Are you serious? Like what?" So it's one of those things, like it just completely happened out of nowhere. But the fact that it did is just incredible because now like we work together and as musicians we gel really well. Like we have a lot of the same similarities in our style and our playing ability. And it's been great. It's been a wild ride.
So what do you foresee being more in your future? Like where do you want, like either your YouTube or the band thing, where do you see yourself being in, let's say, 2 years?
I think it's going to be a mixture, but I do believe it's probably going to be more on the band side of things. I think that's where I'm putting a lot of my attention. I don't plan on ever giving up on YouTube, but I don't know if I'll ever be the next I don't know if I'll be the next Majira or Picari. Like I want to keep growing my channel and I want to keep doing what I do, but I also want the band to succeed. I want the band to get big. I want to travel. I want to tour. So I'd say 2 years from now, I'd like to have us release another album, some new songs, but also, hey, if I could get my channel to 100,000 subs, awesome. I'll take a plaque, just as a little memento to say, hey, here's a thing for what you did, It'd be cool.
Yeah, I can definitely agree. Now, this last little bit, because I'm going to open it up to the audience. If any of you guys have any questions, now's the time to ask, because basically I am out of questions. I was just going to give a nice little brief overview of this good boyo. And you guys go ahead, if you want to ask any questions, go ahead, ask them now while you guys are sending your stuff. What I'm going to go ahead and do is talk about this, what I'm doing here. Let's make sure that, yes, okay, sweet. I'm still good. So this game is called NeosVR. It's obviously not completely furry, but there's a lot of the developers and a lot of the really awesome people who make this game special that are furry creators. And there's so much you can do. Everything that you're seeing in here right now, even though it's very simple, was made literally when I hit the stream start button, and Aegis literally spawned all this stuff and made everything possible. So definitely, if you are a VR person and you want to check this game out, go check them out. If you want to check out any of the videos and stuff, just type in NeosVR on YouTube and see more about this game. And if you want to support it, they have a Patreon, which I just became a Patreon for because this game is really awesome, and I can't wait to see where it goes forward with in the future. What is your childhood fear? That is what somebody asked.
Oh, God, that's a good one. I think the only thing I really remember as a child growing up was that I never wanted to forget like the things I had done. Like I always had this fear of growing up and then just like forgetting everything, like amnesia almost.
Oh yeah.
So like I was one of those weird kids that would sit around and like watch. My parents used to make home movies all the time. They had one of those giant VHS camcorders.
Yeah.
That would take up your entire shoulder, and like I would sit there and I would watch like all the tapes from like vacations and birthdays and stuff, because like I don't know, my brain was just like, you're gonna forget this, you're gonna change, you're gonna become someone different, and I'm like, no, I don't want to. It was a really weird fear. Like most kids are like clowns and spiders, and I'm like, amnesia. I don't know.
That's more of an existential fear than like I had up until high school. Like I was very scared of like dolls, like porcelain dolls, because my grandmother kept a crap ton of them, and they were all just stuck up in the attic, which my room was basically the attic. So they just all shoved into a crawl space where I stored like all of my sports equipment and stuff. And sure enough, I would go in to grab like my sports equipment for like soccer season or wrestling season, and there'd just be porcelain dolls sitting there in the crawl space. And it freaked me the fuck out.
See, that's a fear that I didn't gain until I was older, because my mom now collects those, and I watched the movie Annabelle, and it's just like, no.
Yeah, no, I can't do it. So, like, what is something that you wish you would have known as a kid? Like, that you would have gotten, like, a better knowledge of?
Honestly, I wished I would have known I had any musical ability, because honest to God, if I would have touched an instrument or done anything musically 10 years earlier or more, like it's hard to say where I could be, but like looking at how quickly I've learned what I know now, like if I would have started in middle or high school with like bass or with like, you know, producing music, I really wished I would have, because I would be so much further ahead right now and be so much more help to like my bandmates and whatnot.
Yeah. So somebody said you DJ as well as you're a musician. What is your favorite genre?
So when I DJ, I do a lot of either future house or what I would call dance electro. I don't do like EDM. I can't air quotes right now because it doesn't let me. But and I do a lot more where it's like take an original pop song but give it like a really dancey beat. That's the kind of stuff I spin, because like when I DJ, I want people not necessarily to have like a mosh pit, but like I want it to kind of make you want to move and dance with the music, and that's my general style. So I guess it would be like house, a little bit of techno, and then stuff like electro hop or electro swing, stuff like that.
Oh, I wish you guys. Okay, so another question was asked: coffee or tea?
Coffee or tea? I'm gonna touch you.
There we go.
Coffee. Yeah, just touch. No, it's always coffee, because I need caffeine to function. So always, like the first thing I do is I wake up, and if I don't have a coffee, it's a Red Bull, so coffee.
Okay, so now my question off of that is, Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks?
Ooh. Mmm. Mmm. There's.
There you go. There's
Can
your
I?
coffee.
I want to try to. Come here. Come here. Come. No. No. Come. I can't touch it.
That's weird. Why do you not try with the other hand?
Other hand.
Grip or the trigger?
Yeah. Great. The little trigger button.
Or no, try the side grippies.
The side grippies.
Side grips. That's how you grip it.
There
Oh,
you
I
go.
feel like an idiot. Hey, check that out. To answer your question, since this one is obviously on fire, Starbucks, because they serve their coffee so hot you could take your skin off with it. I'm keeping this, by the way. This is mine now.
It's just here now. What do you do to motivate yourself?
Oh, that's a good one. That's easy. I wake up and look at my bank account. I'm kidding. I'm sorry. My brain said it. I had to say no. To motivate myself, honestly, something I've done a lot is, if we're talking YouTube-wise, a motivational tool is I will talk with people either on Twitter or Discord. Something else I do is I've had fans send me letters. So sometimes if I'm not really feeling inspired or kind of man, why do I still do this? I will actually read those letters that people send me, and that kind of stuff will instantly make you be like, man, this is what it's all about. This is why I do this. And it kind of literally lights a fire under you to go at it. And then musically, if I'm trying to write a new bass line or try to come up with something for a song we're working on, I'll just listen to stuff like Rush or Journey, things that really inspired me as a kid. And I take a lot of inspiration from those artists, and I will use that in my writing or my writing style.
No. So while I'm standing here, because this is normally my comfortable point, if I move too much over this way, I have a dresser that just has a bunch of shit on top of it, and I've knocked so much shit over. Just I almost broke the vodka bottle that we had from TFF that was the Shrink and Grow juice. I almost broke it.
Oh.
Because I tried to do drunk VR, and I was just yeah, no, this is fine. And I went to jokingly throw something, and when I went to throw, I curve-handed it and just smacked the bottle across the room. Stop it. This is not how the interview goes. Go down.
Hi, Mark.
Don't make me change this. Hold on, I can change this.
What are you changing?
I'm getting something.
With this. What the hell? Why?
Because this game is amazing.
No! No! No!
Okay, I'll stop playing around. Okay.
I don't want to be tiny. No!
How do you get started? How did you get started into music? And what's some tips for anybody else getting started into music? What was that?
What's what? Oh. Are they referring to oh. He's he's numing everywhere. Well, if we're talking music in general, I'll just go for the band aspect of things. Really what kind of started that, even before getting into the band, was just wanting to do more to entertain people. And I kind of realized that DJing can't be the end all be all, because there's so many DJs and it's you're playing somebody else's works. And I'm I want to create my own music. So I talked to a few personal references who play music, and then I was I really want to start playing again. So I kind of noodled around and just would emulate what my favorite musicians did.
Yeah.
And then when it came time, when I was asked to be in the band with Run Definitely Run, I was well, I'm no Geddy Lee, but I can hold my own. And so they gave me a shot and I was able to prove myself. So I would say for anybody trying to get into music, whether it's vocal work, instruments, DJing, just you got to start somewhere. So kind of decide what direction you want to go and then just go for it. Like start singing or, pick up a cheap instrument and start playing. Or if you want to DJ, go on Craigslist and buy a controller and just go at it. Like, as I say, we're not getting any younger. So if you're going to do it, go for it. Go. And, worst case, if you fail at it, at least you tried. Live. I'm going to keep going on this topic. Live life with no regrets. Because if you wake up one day and go, man, I wished I would have done that, it's going to suck. But if you did it, you can be like, awesome. I did my best.
Hell yeah. Okay. Ragehound. I think I already said thank you for that. But anyway, Ragehound, thank you again for the 9 bits. Touch the Wolf, thank you for the host, friendo. Vukara Frankencroc, thank you for the follow, friendo. What are you doing? I'm reading things! I can see what you're doing. Stop. Don't die.
Oh, sorry, I'm still sick, but you can't give me this much power. Wait, can I? I can't do it. Wait. Oh no, I can do it to myself. That's a bad idea.
Okay, so for another person had a question in the chat. This is from Theosophilus. I always mess up your name. He's my friend from South Korea, who I was stationed there with. Good friend, who also is getting really good at video effects animating to a point in which, like, if you guys watch my Twitter, he made something, and I'm going to showcase that later on tonight. For you specifically, how do you pick up hobbies so fast, and what do you think your next hobby is going to be, if you do plan on getting another one?
I think the reason I pick hobbies up so quick is the fact that I get bored very easily. I do suffer from a mild form of ADHD, so I try to fill my time with things to distract myself. And when you and this could go for anybody, when you want to pick up a hobby, if you put in a little bit of time each day, you can learn or master anything you want to. And I heard that from it was a TED talk that I watched one time where the guy was like, you can literally learn anything if you put in it was a certain amount of time. They did this formula, and I think it was X amount of hours a day times X amount of hours a week. But if you put it in the time to learn something, then over a certain course, you would master it.
Yeah, that makes sense. What do you think your next hobby would be, though?
Let's see. I think. Sorry, go ahead.
No, if you had to choose one, what would you like to pursue?
Honestly, something I've dabbled in and want to do more is vocal work. I want to sing, but I know that I would have to do vocal lessons because, I don't quite have the control over my vocal cords that I wish I did. And it's just, it's probably a lack of practice, but also I feel like if I had a singing coach or something that could give me exercises or something like that would be something I would want to do. Also, I want to learn how to play guitar because the bass is fun, but it's hard to do solo stuff with just the bass. I like that.
Okay, so first off, thank you for the UFO in the background. I didn't notice that until somebody pointed it out in the chat. Do you see it?
Wait. There it is! I'm gonna...
He's bringing it closer.
No!
Oh, shit!
Wait! You gotta do the thing. Just wiggity. Did you ever watch Rocket Power?
I did.
What are you doing?
I'm climbing you.
Why? If I let go, will I stay up here?
Maybe.
I think gravity will take you.
Alright, so with that being said, everyone, I'm going to say my thank you to everyone who come out. Thank you so much for coming out, supporting the stream. I know I haven't been on Twitch that much, but I'm starting to make that crossover as most furry YouTubers for live streaming. It's more sustainable platform. So
that is true.
With that being said, thank you so much to Aegis in the back and also the awesome people. Oh wait, are you coming over here?
Might as well.
Yeah, there he is.
Where'd you go? Oh, hi.
Hello.
So thank you so much to Aegis who helped us out so much with this interview. I didn't even know that he was going to be here. He just appears and blesses us with a campfire and all
That
these.
is so good.
And thank you to cute boy Kiwi, who is a Dutch Angel Dragon for today. If you guys want to see more of this kind of stuff, please let me know. Hit me up on Twitter or some shit, or even, just let me know, because I'd like to keep doing stuff like this. I want to do interviews and showcase some of the stuff that people don't get to see or hear about most often in the fandom. So let me know what you guys want. If you liked it, let me know. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, just rock on and stay fuzzy, y'all, and check out NeosVR. It's worth it.
As well as
We do
check
have a
out.
Discord as well.
Yeah, there's a Discord. That's right.
Yes, discord.gg/neosvr, as well as we do have a website as well, if you want more information on that.
Yeah, just check it out. Awesome stuff that these guys are doing here. So with that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end out the stream. Also, don't forget he didn't actually shameless plug himself, but check out Kiwi Fox on YouTube. And yeah,
YouTube.com/KiwiFoxFluff and FluffyFoxWorks.com.
There you go. All right. Well, with that being said, I hope you guys have a good one.
Bye, yeah.
Goodbye, chippies.
Goodbye, vape.